Alright guys, it is Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. So today marks 50 days I have left to get my 55 done for the show. Doesn't look much different. So I've been doing oddball little things, waiting for the weather to warm up to finish painting parts and pieces, which I have quite a few things to paint and quite a few different colors to do. Anyway, weather outlook for the week is 60s, 70s. Today it's 70 something. It's beautiful outside. Other than the wind, it's really bad windy. So I'm trying to button up a few little other things to get them ready for paint. So today I had to finish some body work and get some stuff primered, which I just got done cleaning the paint gun. So I've primered these parts. This is my glove box insert. Like when you open the door, it's what you'll see. My Kenwood radio is going to go in there, a 12-volt outlet, and then the dial for the RPM setting for the shift light, and that's in my Autotronic eye. So this is my front body mount cover that I had custom made, but I ended up having to rework some areas. I welded square nuts on the back side here and here, so I had to go in and retouch up those areas. And then this is part of the factory deluxe heater box assembly, and these things are pretty rough from the factory. There's some spot welds up here, and it's pretty wavy all the way around it. It's kind of wavy, so I went in and did some filler work on that and just smoothed it up a little bit, because like 3/4 of that is visible underneath the dash. And all my heater box parts are getting painted Galaxy Gray Pearl base coat, clear coat, so they're going to be very, very shiny. The main section of the heater box, the big part, I did a lot of smoothing work on it, and I molded in I panel bonded on a quarter panel crest, so it looks like it's embossed in the steel. So there's just little custom details there. Now this glove box insert that I made out of steel, I was going to do a velour flocking kit, because you can buy those for around $40, I think, on the internet. And it's basically your brush glue on it, and then you just like poof gray flocking, which is like a shaved velour or velvet or whatever. Anyway, it's supposed to resemble a factory glove box insert because they're felt lined or whatever. But I tried one of those a few years back, and I didn't get very good results. So this time I'm just going to use Duplicolor bed liner in a can, and I'm going to spray that on here, because that certain one has pretty fine texture to it. So it'll give it a textured look. And then I'm going to spray it with some Sim brand interior trim paint, which is known in the industry as vinyl dye. I'm going to spray it warm gray. It's kind of a gray that's pretty close to the original felt color. Anyway, so it'll look like a felt line glove box in gray, but it's actually going to be paint. And I already have all that stuff here instead of buying another felt kit, which I really don't have the money to buy. I got some parts laid out here to get painted. A lot of this stuff, the main majority of this stuff, has got to be like a matte black, satin black, or whatever. Anyway, I've still got to sand the inner fenders, those two, and then all the stuff's pretty much ready to spray. I'm going to be spraying it Matrix Factory Pack MPB 9000. It's just a black base coat, and then that's what I'll be putting over it, which is a matte clear, and that's the activator for it. Anyway, I wanted to do a single stage flat black or satin black, and that paint's too blotchy. I couldn't get it to work. I actually tried again yesterday, and I can't get a result that I'm happy with. It is very, very blotchy looking. It's very thick, and it's not supposed to be reduced, and it's got a lot of dust on it. But anyway, it has blotchy areas in it, and I don't like it. So I'm going to try the other stuff. I know the other stuff will work and lay down real nice, because I've used it before, but let's see. If you caught the last video, I got to get another master cylinder, so that kind of sucks. So I still don't have brakes. I finished up quite a bit more wiring, routing stuff. So I pretty much got all my stereo stuff up here to the glove box. Anyway, still got that mess over there, which is the A-pillar gauge pod wires that go in the A-pillar, and also the steering column. So I need to get the steering column tube painted so I can get it installed. What else? Oh yeah, I got I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a 55 Chevy behind that, two-door hardtop. It is a, I've showed this in a video before, but that's it after it got bolted in. So that is just a block-off plate I made behind the factory speaker housing, because you can see down in the dash if you don't have something blocking that off. I changed the mesh out to the mesh is more open on mine, so anyway, I built a block-off plate with sides, and that way you can't see in through the sides either. It's just flat black. I'm not going to go in there and paint that Hot Wheel color and put a light in there to show it off and all that. I like subtle. I don't like in-your-face stuff, so it's all flat black, and it's one of those details that you really won't see. That's what is left of a 55 two-door hardtop Hot Wheels. It actually still rolls. I used washers for wheels, but anyway, that's what I put behind there. But anyway, I need to get this stuff painted, and then I need to get the inserts and the trim painted because I can't put my quarter windows in and all the window regulators and stuff until I get the trim on, because I don't want to have to fight to put all the nuts on the back of the studs with all that stuff in there. What else? So I'm pretty much going to have a paint week, basically, trying to get a whole bunch of little stuff painted. I got all kinds of stuff I got to do, little smalls, garnish moldings for the top of the dash. I've got to respray my gauge pod that I built for the A-pillar. It's not very good. It's got some areas that I didn't quite get finished out good, so I'm going to redo that. I got my Optima battery in. That kind of turned into a mess. I had top post clamps, and they're actually the plate that bolts down to the top of that Billet Specialties tray. The clamp is almost touching it, and I'm afraid it's going to short out. So I ended up, I'm going to go to side post instead. I actually dug through my wiring crap over there, and I found two cheapy side post battery clamps that were brand new. And I basically just masked off from like there up and did one black and one red. And I changed all the hardware out to 12-point ARP, so it'll give it a little bit better look. I laid a washer, like an old used washer, down in there to protect that where the bolt goes in, so that'll stay raw. But anyway, now they look like a little bit more expensive than the $2 or $3 you'd spend for them at Walmart. Anyway, what a mess. I got all kinds of loose ends to tie up, man. I mean, it's coming together. It's slowly coming together. I did change my fuel pump. I went with just an O'Reilly stock replacement. This is Precision. This is a stock like 1980 Chevy pickup 350 fuel pump. I had a Holly on there, but it was the really small one, and it had the correct PSI, but it took small fittings. And what I had done was it's one of those ones that you can take apart and rebuild or clock or whatever. So I took the bottom off of it, and I actually drilled it and tapped it bigger to take the bigger fittings. But it was so close to the edge that I was afraid there could be a crack there from me tapping it. And then I got to thinking about, if I got a leak, when I'm running the car, it might spray fuel everywhere, make a mess. And the other thing was driving on a trip somewhere and the fuel pump go out. I won't be able to go into a parts store and get a fuel pump right off the shelf to go back on there with all the fittings and crap that was in there, because I've got AN fittings and stuff. So I ended up just getting a stock replacement fuel pump, and then I had to go get a different fitting to go to the stock pump to use my AN line. But I got it done, and I'm happy now, because that's a $16 fuel pump. So, fuel pump goes out at $16, and it's going to be on just about every auto parts shelf in the country. So I'm happy now. I feel a little bit more confident with that. Not that the Holly pump was probably a bad pump, it's just it wasn't the correct one for what I needed, and I also wasn't very happy with the chrome quality on it. The chrome was very, very bad on that thing. It even had some areas that just looked, they didn't get enough chrome on it. It looked gold through it. But anyway, if you'll notice on this frame, you'll see this circled indent down here in the frame, and that is a pipe cap that I hole sawed the frame and sunk it down in there. Because if you've ever tried to put one of this style of fuel pump on your Tri-5, this part usually hits your frame. So a little bit added clearance is what I decided to put in there. I did that to another car I had a long time ago. But anyway, it's just a little pipe cap that gives it kind of like a little, I don't know, like a sphere or something, I guess. I don't know. What else? I guess that's about it. I'm kind of stuck because I got a lot of parts I got to bolt onto the car, and I just don't have everything painted yet. I cannot hook up the steering column wiring because I don't have the steering column tube itself painted. I have the upper pieces, I just don't have the main tube painted. And then I can't put my lower windshield trim on and my wiper bezels and the wiper arms and all that stuff because I don't have the cowl panel painted. So it's just lots of painting tidbits, and I'm kind of glad that I've waited until warmer weather because I just like painting in 60 and 70 degree weather. It's just my preferred. It's my favorite. But anyway, that is about it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to update. I polished a few more pieces of stainless trim, and so there's like a day and a half of that crap. And then I finished up some routing wiring in here. Just oddball stuff. I did get the wiper motor finally all wired up and a grommet, the firewall and everything, so that looks pretty clean. Pretty happy with that. I don't know if I've covered that yet. I had to modify my throttle linkage. I put a sleeve in here because this before was going up to here and it was going in an angle and I didn't like it. Now it's all straight. I like it much better. What else? Steering box is in. Of course, you can't see it for my catch bag for my brake fluid. Definitely a fan of that .5 brake fluid. If I hadn't had that stuff, I'd have had wrinkled paint everywhere, messing with the brakes on this car. I guess that's it, guys. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. I think that's pretty much covers it right there. So I got this stuff all primered a little bit ago, so now I can I'll probably let it set all day tomorrow, and then I'll go in and sand it. It'll pretty much be ready to spray at that point. But there's 3 different colors going on with just those 3 parts. That's gloss black car body color. This is Galaxy Gray, and then this is going to be texture painted, and then warm gray trim paint. So lots going on. And then I have a multitude of pieces in the house that need brought out here and sprayed. But I wanted to get this core support sprayed and all these pieces here. Well, the radiator support baffles and the electric fan shroud, so I can go ahead and get the shroud in it and the core support shroud and the stuff. Then I could put the radiator in it and put the hoses and stuff on. I've got some bars made that bolt on up here and go to the core support to hold the core support still. So I can do my final tuning on the car with it running without the front clip on it and stuff. Let's see, if you caught my video where I got this thing to fire up just by off the fuel in the fuel bowl, I had a lifter ticking over here, a rocker arm clattering. I took the valve cover off yesterday and found a rocker arm that I just didn't have adjusted. I had it down a little ways, but I guess I missed it. It happens. I got it all adjusted now, so it should be good to go. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to cut out and continue on. I got lots to do. Lots of little tidbit stuff, but at least the weather's here for it now. Thanks for watching.